Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome back to another match preview. Welcome back to another live match preview. And today I've got a special guest. Jimmy the Spliff is here. Welcome, man. Welcome to the channel, man. Thank you for coming on.
What's up, bro? We here. Unfortunately, season has been in the mud, but we here. We here.
Yeah, man. London's biggest mid-off, I've named it. And I think that's the perfect title for this, man.
It's funny. I didn't even see it before it started, and while I was waiting I read the top, and I said, "That's a perfect title." Mid-off, the mud-off.
Yeah. The mud-off. Yeah, the mid-off, the mud-off, the shit-off. I don't know what you could call this, yeah, but it's Moyes versus the Argentinian Moyes, man. But, well, taking it back here, when Pochettino got announced to Chelsea, was you already like, I didn't want him in the first place sort of thing?
No, actually, when they first signed him, I was like, Prem, he's been in the Prem, done pretty well here. He's worked with young players. Our squad is pretty young because I took it back to the Southampton days. Then you took it back to the early Tottenham days. You like, you know what? This might could work. Preseason started. The preseason was over here in America. I went to 2 games. Nice. I'm looking at what I'm watching in preseason. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this. I knew there was going to be bumps and bruises, young team, but I'm like, maybe top 4, between 4 through 7. That's what I thought. And then I actually started questioning him after week 1. Most people that know me know week 1, I was right on his case because at least to me, I thought I saw a crack in the armor from early. Everything we had worked on, what we had practiced, what we had done in the preseason, first game of the year, we did something I had not seen all year. And then we ran with it all the way up until basically a few weeks ago,
Yeah, I remember watching that summer series tournament where you faced I think it was Fulham, Newcastle, Villa, etc.
Yeah.
And I remember
Brighton,
Brighton as well. Yeah, I think a lot of people were gassing the preseason. I remember seeing that on the timeline a lot, and I remember seeing a couple of sick goals from Jackson Mudryk linking up and then Nkunku being in there as well.
Nkunku was there. The link up was it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
I can't remember who you guys faced, but I remember Nkunku got injured. And then
Nkunku got injured against was it Dortmund?
Yeah, it must have been the game after the summer series.
We played somebody. We played a non-English team. We played a non-English team in Chicago in a shit stadium. The stadium was poor, but it wasn't really the stadium because it was actually knee-to-knee contact. When it happened, everybody was blaming, oh, look at the turf, but they actually clattered, went knee to knee, and from then, oh man, it's been all downhill. Pochettino used that as an excuse at first, Nkunku, and then when we got Nkunku back, he wouldn't play him. He wouldn't start him. He just wouldn't play him. It was just, Pochettino he's come with so many excuses. They've given him so many excuses, but I think he made his own bed. I really truly believe he made his own bed.
I think it's good that he said there was red flags from game week 1 because I remember when I first saw the lineup and I was like, hold on, is he playing the 3 at the back? I've seen him play 4-2-3-1 in preseason. Then I realized it was Ben Chilwell at left wing. And I was like, okay, I don't know how this is going to go. And you faced us on the second game week. And you went away from home to the London Stadium. And I remember seeing that exact lineup. And I just remember thinking, I was nervous before the game. Then I saw Chilwell on the left wing. I was like, how are they going to score goals? I don't know where the goals are coming from. Sterling's there.
That's what
Jackson's new. Chilwell's left wing. All the whole front three was new, really.
You'd be surprised. I was patch out after that game. West Ham.
I remember seeing on Lewis's stream.
I flipped my lid. I couldn't believe it because what I was scared that I saw against Liverpool when he came week 2, I knew what I saw. I was like, this guy, it's already week 2 and he's scared. He's scared to implement what he's worked on. And that's why we looked so bad when we started, because the players were clearly doing what we had not worked on. And then a few weeks passed, you could tell we didn't have much patterns of play, which was cool because our attackers were young. But the chinks in the armor was the defense. The last 3, 4 maybe seasons, Chelsea's had one of the best defenses in the Prem. In Europe, period. We just did not allow a lot of goals. Whether it was we fired Frank because we quote unquote was letting in too many goals. This guy came and made Frank look like he was Conte. You know,
fat Frank, bro.
Yeah, it was horrible, man, and it just took him too long. Now, as you can see, excuse me, the season's coming down to an end, and now you're starting to see, he can actually make tactical changes. What took you so long? You know, he's inverting Cucurella.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, those are the things. These are things that should have been being done a long time ago. He's actually did that in the preseason. I was reminded that he did it in the preseason. But he took it away once the season started and Kunkun wasn't there. Bunch of excuses. And he's scared to use academy players. I don't respect the coach who rather put center back, a third, fourth string center back at right back instead of an academy right back. I just can't respect that.
You know? Yeah, because I don't even remember Alfie Gilchrist being a right back in the academy. I don't remember.
Alfie Gilchrist is a center back.
Yeah.
Alfie
so
Gilchrist
he was makeshift then.
Center back. Yep. He's a center back. Pochettino, because his reluctance to use academy kids, he wouldn't use them. Now, don't get me wrong. Gilchrist had a good game or two there. He had an awful game there also, but I'd rather see an academy kid. I'm just being honest, just me personally. I'd rather you start the academy kid, and then if he's stinking it up, you pull him. But those are pretty much the opportunities where academy kids make their names. You know, we got beaten by academy kids against Liverpool. Same thing. Klopp said, hey, this is a move I have to make in order to get through, and it worked. But, you know, Pochettino don't have the cojones to do it.
Yeah, I remember, I think the main game at the start of the season where I can remember a lot of fans turning on Pochettino was Bournemouth away, where the quote was, we have to protect the point. I remember that being a quote, and it was against Bournemouth. It was 0-0, and it ended up being end-to-end right at the end. Like either team could have won it, and what he'd done. I remember him putting Ian Maatson on the wing or something like that, and he just wanted to protect the point. He just wanted to be like, no, we're not going to lose. Even the match-going fans were nearly turning on him already, and I'm thinking, you know, you've got to be bad. You've got to be making bad decisions when the match-going fans are not giving you a chance in the third game week. And you're trying to protect the point away at Bournemouth, who also have a new manager. There's not really much to lose. And with one game a week, there's a lot of time to recover for Chelsea. Yeah. Like and with them having a new manager, there's not really not much to lose as well.
Yeah, he kept making this excuse, and it was working with this fan base for some reason. Oh, about experience. I need experience. The meantime, I'm watching Liverpool run kids out. I mean, at that time, everybody was going through injury crisis. Everybody. Yeah. So it wasn't an excuse that I was buying. I was watching teams. I watched Gary O'Neill get hired and change the entire way what you call it play in weeks. So it was just frustrating to watch us come out week after week after week and nothing improved. I think that was the most frustrating thing with Pochettino. Even up to today, nothing has gotten better. Nothing. Our attack still looks the same. We have games where we finish. We have games where we don't, like most teams. But our defense, horrible tactically. We're the worst in the Prem in set pieces. It's not even close. We're the worst in set pieces. And for us to be this bad at set pieces, and him come out and say, "I don't need a set piece coach," criminal.
There's a lot of similarities.
Now we hired one.
Yesterday. A lot of similarities.
Yes. And it's funny because if you hear Chelsea fans complain, Man U fans complain, West Ham fans, it's like you're hearing the same complaint. If you just listen to them, it's the manager. Yeah, you got players They have shit games. They have bad games. We know that. Players are gonna. But most of all, your number one problem is the manager. If you just switch the manager, you know you already give yourself another 9 points, and that's being nice. That's being nice. That if you, I honestly feel like Poch is responsible for at least 12 to 15 points that we drop. At least. Yeah. That's at least.
I can say the exact same thing about my manager as well, David Moyes. The blank puts in the chat as well. That's a bad excuse. Call me a hater, but Poch is overrated. And this is the thing. I was backing like the idea of that Poch's the sort of redemption arc at like the start, and him coming in and being like, I can coach young players like I did at Tottenham, like I did at Southampton, and I can get the best out of players. I can squeeze more out of players than I actually have. And when you've got a £200 million midfield, I am not looking at the midfield if both of them are playing shit. I'm looking at the manager. And it turns out that Enzo Fernandez was playing with a hernia for this whole time anyway. I watched Caicedo last year. Like, what has he turned into? It's because of the manager. It's a £200 million midfield.
And then look, let me show you what's funny, right? I'm seeing today everybody saying, oh, well, Enzo gone, we look so much better. Enzo gone, we look so much better. You know what they're leaving out? When Enzo playing, Gallagher's at the 10. When Gallagher's in the double pivot, Cole Palmer's at the 10. Of course, Cole Palmer's gonna look better. Of course, Conor Gallagher's gonna look better. Put Conor Gallagher at the double pivot with Conor Gallagher at the 10, and let's see how good Conor Gallagher looks. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I fully understand.
Conor Gallagher has the advantage of Cole Palmer's there. He can press. He does everything Gallagher does, and he's better 20 times going forward. And on top of that, Cucurella's inverting. We never did that when Enzo was there. We never did that when Enzo was there. So now there's a tactical change, and now, we look better without Enzo. BS. You're not about to tell me Gallagher, whose main attribute is I can run around, it's better than Enzo. I'm sorry. Like, if you think that, then you play exactly what we Brexit ball. He's good for Brexit ball. There's nowhere else in this world top manager's gonna look and see Enzo Fernandez, his talent, his abilities, and go and look at Gallagher and go, yeah, I'll have some of that. Enzo, you sit down. Where? What planet? Where? What? No. Enzo Fernandez and Gallagher's on the same team. There's no manager that I know that's a winning manager is going to take him over him. It's no way. It's no fucking way. It's impossible. Pochettino loves passionate guys. Love guy who run up and down. That's cool. You can run up and down. There's 1,000,001 people in this world that can run up and down. I can go to Kenya and show you the best marathoners in the world. They'll run for 6 days. That doesn't mean they can play football. That doesn't mean they're the best football. And don't get me wrong, this is not a disrespect to Conor Gallagher. And that's the problem with a lot of the Gallagher fans. They think that you're saying that you're attacking Conor Gallagher. No, he's a player, and there's a spot in a great team, in a good team for Conor Gallagher. There's a spot on a good team for Conor Gallagher. There's a spot for a player like Conor Gallagher. But starting, no chance. Now, if he's in the double pivot and he's who your starter is, and you don't have an Enzo, that's cool. But why would I have a player like Enzo with the talent that he has and look at a player like Gallagher with the talent he has and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to start him? No, I'm going to start the most talented player. If I got a midfield of Caicedo and Enzo, I'm going to figure out a tactic that makes them two work together. They're too talented. This idea that, it doesn't work, it can't work. Yeah, it can't work under this manager. I'm quite sure there's a lot of managers sitting down going, look at this fool, don't know how to manage these two top players. I'm quite sure there's a manager somewhere saying that. I'm pretty sure there's a manager somewhere saying that.
I think the big thing for me as well, Enzo Fernandez looked better under Graham Potter when he first came into the league, and he was barely settled into the league, rather than him being there like 6 months in, new manager. He's had a preseason with this manager, and he looks worse.
The
Now,
worst.
yes, since December, yes, it's the injury, yeah. But this is a lot of similarities with our manager, who I've been shouting about playing midfield of Edson Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, and Thomas Soucek as a midfield. It's similar to playing Caicedo, Fernandez, and Gallagher.
Exactly.
Gallagher, what you have with Conor Gallagher, yeah, he is an athletic English Soucek.
That's what he is. And Chelsea will make you believe he's 10 times better than these guys that play for other teams because he's English. They'll put him up a couple notches better than these guys. And I'm like, yo, that's the levels he's are. He's the level as these guys. If these guys play for Chelsea, they'll be doing pretty much the same damn thing. The same thing.
Those kind of attributes as well do not get hyped up in any other country, in my opinion, especially in the top leagues.
Only in that passion. He runs around. And my problem is this. We ignore, for some reason, I don't know why. They ignore how many times Gallagher ruins the attack. I know what he does defensively. I get it. I know what he does pressing. But do we actually see how many times this guy stalls the attack? I mean, stalls it. The ball gets to his foot. It's a breakaway. Guy on the left, guy on the right. Gallagher's dribbling with his head down because he got to control the ball. Now he got it under control. Now he has to figure out what he want to do with it. When usually somebody like an Enzo, they get it, control, pop, gone. Yeah, he's not going to run around as much as Gallagher. But that's why you got good defense. That's what Caicedo and Latvia is for. Because that's my three. That's my three. Between however you want to rotate the front or work the front that way. But that's my three. If you figure out how to put Nkunku with Cole Palmer and Nico Jackson up front, however you want to work those three. But get my three midfielders in there too. Don't tell me it can't be done. If you telling me there's not a top manager that can't look at Caicedo, Latvia, and Palmer. I'm saying Caicedo, Latvia, not Palmer, and
Gallagher.
And not Gallagher.
Fernandez.
Fernandez, and figure out how to. And you can throw Gallagher in there too, between those four midfielders. If you can't figure out how to rotate those four midfielders and make it work, you just don't need to be a manager. I'm sorry. Because I'm not even saying you have to get rid of Gallagher. But if 50 million come in, come on, let's just be realistic. Would you pay 50 million for Gallagher?
No, we nearly fucking did. We nearly did. We nearly did last summer. Oh my god.
Yes. I forgot about that. West Ham did come in. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, we came with like 40 million or something.
Yeah, and it was just a little bit too short. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. To me, if you told me, hey, we're gonna sign Conor Gallagher for 35 million, I'll have it. Let's go, bring him in all day. 50 million? Yeah. No, I'm not. No.
What's the funniest part about this is the fact that it probably would have been out of Gallagher, Ward-Prowse, and the problem is he was going in for people like McTominay. He was going in for people like Gallagher. And Ward-Prowse is fine, but Ward-Prowse was only bought specifically for set pieces. Ward-Prowse is actually not a bad footballer. I watched him at Southampton for years. But the problem is, I've seen him on a 10. I've seen him on a 6. I've seen him on the left. The guy's on number 8. I'm not even making excuses for him. I'm just saying, I've watched this guy for years. If he was playing in his right position, because he's been in the Premier League for so long,
it's like results for you. Like we've all seen him. You've seen so much. He's been in the league so long. You have to know his game. Yeah,
exactly. And what's funny, earlier you were talking about Manchester United complaining about the manager, Chelsea complaining about the manager. Us three, and I was talking to Strasbourg Steve a couple months ago about Eddie Howe as well. Like, this is like a mini league of the managers. That's how bad the European battle is right now. We all feel like we're having a missed opportunity, big club or maybe just about, even though we're not as big as Chelsea and Man United or whatever, we've missed out on a massive opportunity. We're right there. Yes. And even though I feel like the season's been done since January because we didn't replace 2 players and we made our squad a lot smaller, there was a lot of opportunities where we could have capitalized. We've won 3 league games this year and we still got people telling me, be careful what you wish for. Bro, the English media, oh my God.
Yeah,
it's like...
They latch on to some of these people and it's like they just hype them up and push them up. And it's like, what are we really watching? Like, why is it so biased? Like, why guys can't just seem to be honest about English players or English managers. Like this, it is what it is, you know. Like some of these
Yeah,
guys just are not good. They just are not good, and because they're in the Prem, it's like mandatory that we hype them up and gas them up to say they're the best. I don't get it. I
yeah, I
truly
don't
don't.
get it.
I truly
Like,
truly don't get it.
that's the thing. Like, this is why England, and I'm English, and I'm saying this, we don't win anything ever. Because every time it comes before a tournament, you'll get people like Paul Merson be like, "We've got the best squad ever." Like all of this bollocks. Like, bro, France is right there, you know. You know,
Yeah,
France's under 16s can qualify out the group stage, man. I don't know what they cook up in France here, but they birth centre backs like it's mad. They
like
got fast
man, listen.
people all the time, man. They're just stealing kids from other countries and they're qualifying.
And here's
Bro,
the funny thing, right? All our center backs, all our guys that we brought in last year, Enzo,
mm,
Badiashile, all these guys, as terrible as the season we had last year, they
yeah,
all look like better footballers. We
yeah,
look like better. The only thing that I can honestly say that's better this year is guys are scoring. That's it.
yeah,
Guys are scoring. Guys are actually putting the ball in the back of the net. And a little bit of that is Pochettino because our attack is a little better. But
mm,
for the sacrifice for our defense to be almost 2/3 worse, that just cannot work. It's not a balance. The payoff is not, you know, if our attack was a little bit better and the defense was a nudge worse, you'll take it, you know, because it'll lead.
yeah,
Now it's like the attack is better, the defense worse. So it's like you balance back to nothing. You balance back to shit. You right back to
mm,
garbage, you know. And it's
exactly, yeah.
like it's the most frustrating thing about Pochettino. It's not even close. It's the most frustrating thing about this manager, man. The most frustrating.
So let's say I'm pretty sure Pochettino's gone, in my opinion, at the end of the season. I'm
Man,
pretty sure,
you
but
can only hope. Right now,
mm,
with the way how this league has been so terrible,
yeah,
if we win probably 3 out of our last 4, we
yeah,
might end up in 6th place.
yeah, you actually might end up in sixth place. That's mad.
And,
You might end up
and
above Man United.
yeah, and if we do, I pretty much have no grounds to stand on to say fire him. And I've been saying
Yeah,
fire him, but
mm,
also at the beginning of the year, I said we'll finish between 4th and 7th. So if
yeah,
we actually finish between 4th and 7th, I would be a hypocrite to say fire him. But
mm,
I would still be Poch out. Like next year, I'm going to start the season and people be like, "Are you excited?" And it'll be like, "No," because
yeah,
I know what
exactly.
this manager does. I don't expect him to change. I don't expect Pochettino to come in next year and be different. I don't.
No, no,
The
not at
only
all.
way this team would be better next year with Pochettino as the manager if we literally went out and got a couple world-class players.
Yeah,
That's it.
those are hard
And
to
we're
get.
not doing that. We're
No,
not. That's not. That way doesn't work with the profit and sustainability rules. A lot of teams not going to be able to do that anymore. Just wake up and
no.
I'm going to go get 2 world-class players. Them days are done. Those days are
Uh,
done.
Blank said if Chelsea get seventh, I think they said they will keep him. But there was rumors about European football being the success at the end. But I don't
Yeah.
know whether that's reliable or not. But this is the problem I have with my manager as well. Luckily, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that he is leaving. That Moyes is leaving, and I already knew this. I already knew this about a year ago because his contract was running out, and our owner brought in a whole new technical director that doesn't think in the same vision as David Moyes.
As
Now, as
David
shit
Moyes.
as our owner is, he at least brought a technical director to move us in another direction, and we'll see if that comes to fruition or whatever. Yeah, but that's the thing with this manager. He's finally gone, but he's gone on sad. He's gone out sad. He should have left
Yeah.
after he won the trophy. We saw this coming from a mile off, and I was a big Moyes in guy, of course, when I was 6th and 7th. But I could go off what I see. I know where everything is going because I'm watching football with my eyes. I'm not watching football on SofaScore. I'm not
Yeah,
watching football on
exactly.
expected threat.
Exactly.
You see, if I see a player shit and you come on Twitter and say, "Oh, but his expected threat is good," please stop watching football. I'm begging you, please
Yeah,
stop
I
watching
hate that.
football.
I hate that when I watch a player like that's almost like my thing with Mudrik, right? I'm
Yeah,
watching Mudrik with my 2 eyes. I'm going off of what I'm watching. And then the
mm,
game is done. They be like, "Oh, but he created 3 big chances." I'm like, he lost the ball 75 times, bro. Like,
oh,
I
I
don't
hate
even
that.
remember the quote unquote big chances. Because sometimes
Mm,
I don't even know what they're calling the big chance. Sometimes a
no, I don't
game
know.
finish and they'll be like, "Oh, Chelsea had 3 big chances," and I'm saying to myself, "Win." You know, like win. What are you labeling as a big chance? You know, and
exactly.
It's confusing, man. It's confusing. Like this it's sometimes it's like you'll have a game where they're judging a left back by what he failed to do attacking, and they're judging an attacking winger by what he failed to do defensively, and it's like, well, why am I in this bizarro world? How am I in this upside down world where I'm judging? You know what I mean? I'm judging my attackers by what they do defensively, and I'm judging my defensive players by the way they pass the ball. Going, it's like,
it's too robotic, man.
World, man. Twitter's done this.
It's too systematic. Like they think they're the managers. This is the thing, yeah. If you're a performance analyst, yeah, I understand the whole stats thing because that's your fucking job, yeah. But you're not a performance analyst on Twitter. You're some guy with a Madweke AVI. You're some guy with a Pablo Fornals AVI, man. You probably started watching football 3 years ago in lockdown.
Yes.
Like these people started watching football in lockdown, man.
This is what pisses me off the most. Is that the guys that only talk in stats? It's like, don't get me wrong, stats matter. Don't say stats don't matter. That's how you gauge a lot of things. Analytics, stats. These things have been around. And that's another. They act like analytics is new. That's just a new name they put on it. Analytics has been around forever. People have been using analytics. It's actually probability. That's all analytics is. Probability. It's more likely you'll do this in this moment. It's probability. That's what it comes down to. But they use that instead of their eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It should be a replacement.
And that's what I feel like is happening a lot in football. It's like people look at a player's price tag, and then they raise the standard how they judge a player too high. Like all year, I've been watching. I can name maybe 5, 6, maybe at the most bad games Caicedo has had. The most. Every other game outside of that, he's either been 6, 7, or 8 or better. People tell you, "Oh, he's been shit," and it's like, how does that equal out to shit? I don't get it. But that's the narrative, you know. Like Arsenal fans, they're trying to push this narrative that Kai Havertz has done something this year.
Well,
you can just go back a few weeks ago and press play on all their content creators, and they're all saying he has not been worth the money. He scored 3 goals in the last few weeks, 3 goals and an assist. Oh, he might be a signing of the year. I'm like, come on, man. Like, let's not do this.
Why? Not even Arsenal's best signing, man. It's not even Arsenal's best signing. What are we doing? Not even Arsenal's best signing. Not even close at all. You can't be like, especially the Arsenal fans that talk to me. Yeah, you can't be texting me every week, being like, Declan Rice is playing so well for us. He's the player of the season. Then all of a sudden, talk to me about, but Kai Havertz is our player of the season. What's Saka been doing then? What's Erdegaard been doing then? What's fucking Saliba, Gabriel, bruv, they've been doing then?
That's what
he's not even making your top. You might not make your top 10.
Online banter has kind of it's become so lame. I used to love the online banter, but now it's like everybody uses the same banter. It's like they go to the big accounts, see what the big accounts are saying, and then they run with that. Let's run with it. We're gonna run with the big. And that's another thing with this fan base. Whatever narrative the big accounts set, that's what everybody runs with. That's what everybody runs with. It's annoying, man. It's very annoying. It's like people don't think for themselves. What the big account's saying. Oh, that's what I noticed. You know?
Yeah. We had that today with it's something similar. Not only do people follow the big accounts and do all this stuff, it's when a report comes out and they don't look at the source, which pisses me off. Today, we had this thing about, you might see Jacob Steinberg, the reporter, yeah? He's like an E-list reporter at least, yeah? E-list. But he reports West Ham all the time, yeah? Oh, Lopetegui's close. Shut up, man, about Lopetegui's advance. Why are you all complaining on Twitter about Lopetegui's advance? It's not advanced. When your most reliable source, we have a source called ex-West Ham employee, literally doesn't get anything wrong. Doesn't get anything wrong. On the YouTube channel, on the West Ham Way YouTube channel says Lopetegui is not, like, he's on the short list, but he's not anywhere near right now. Our director of football has different managers in this shortlist compared to our owner. Our owner wants Lopetegui, but he brought in a technical director. Lopetegui's not going to come because otherwise there's no point of getting a technical director in. Everyone needs to stop panicking. But everyone goes on Twitter and starts being like, "Oh, Lopetegui's advanced. How dare you, Lopetegui's advanced, bro? None of you are gonna do anything in real life because you're just complaining on Twitter, man. I know West Ham fans that will complain in real life. They don't have a fucking Twitter account. They don't look on Twitter. Like, and the people at my dad's age, they're the West Ham fans that will complain in real life. They will do something in real life. None of you lot are gonna do anything in real life,
Nothing.
bro.
No.
You would
And
prefer you.
it is funny, right? Because when a fan base is rattled, these reporters know it's their chance to get clicks. They know.
Yeah,
They came out with a report the other day. Oh, Conte has offered his services, and Mourinho and Tuchel. They know that's only gonna pull on the heartstrings of the Chelsea fan base and get them rattled up. They're gonna share, click, requote, quote, tweet, all that shit. You know, and that's what they do. That's how they make their money, and that's cool. But I just hate when guys now come and they yelling and screaming about it. It's like, yo, bro, you falling for this again? You think this ownership wants Antonio Conte? Why? Why? He's not that. No. Like this idea, the times are changing. These guys are not going to hire people who's going to go to the media and disrespect them. Why? Why am I going to be an owner? I'm going to hire you, pay you. And then the day when you having a bad day, you're going to go in front of the media and disrespect me? No.
Yeah. The same manager that says, Tottenham stories this. Look at the owner. We've had all these managers. He said that. He said that after they drew 3-3. They were fourth. He was pissed off. You think that anyone's going to hire him if they want to go in a different direction to what he's usually going to? No. I saw that when Chelsea fans were like, bring him. Bro, could you imagine Chelsea with Conte now? That would be a shit show. It would be entertaining for someone like me. But fucking hell, man.
To me, Mike, I don't even think Conte's elite because he's shit in Europe. He's
I agree.
Garbage in Europe. If you can't manage in Europe, how am I calling you elite? If everybody else we call elite wins in Europe, how can you possibly be elite? You literally lack one entire feature that they have: the ability to win in Europe.
Yeah,
not necessarily win it all. Make a run, a deep run. Make a run. Be an actual contender in Europe. He's never even been a contender. His teams the bed in Europe.
Yeah.
Every team he has. He can't manage Europe. He can't. He can only manage against the league he's in. He cannot manage against other leagues. And that's why I say Conte's not elite. And I would never want him as my manager. Never.
This is the thing. You can only have Conte if you're banned from Europe every year. That's the problem. Because, like, especially when you go to Tottenham, and this is what happened at Tottenham when they faced AC Milan. Romero got sent off. They needed to win the game. They were losing 1-0 on aggregate. What did he do? Brings off, I think he brought off Kulusevski and he brought on Davinson Sanchez. We're staying 5 at the back. Bro, you need to go and get 2 goals, man. And defensive football is good for what it is when it's needed. But when you need a goal, you need 2 goals. It's not needed to go 5 at the back. And he ended up bringing off a defender later on in the game anyway. So the substitution made no sense anyway.
Made no sense.
And that's what Conte does. That's what Conte does, especially with the teams he's had at Juventus as well. There's no excuse to not win in Europe. He could have won at least 1 cup. At least
he could have won something, man. He couldn't win a damn thing. At least make a run. Make a run, man. Make a run. Get to a semifinal. Get to a final. You know, terrible.
Despite the manager, bro, like, obviously throughout Chelsea season, there's been a lot of different content creators, different people associated with Chelsea that will blame everything to do with the club. So whether it's the owners, manager, or players, with the owners and with the players, where do you stand on them? Do you think that there's major improvements that needed on your squad? Do you think the owners are making bad decisions constantly? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, the owners, I don't blame them for nothing that they did when they first came in, because the club was in such disarray. Once that first season signings, after that, the Koulibaly and all that, I wiped the slate clean. I said, all right, let's wipe the slate clean. Let's see where y'all at. They brought in Poch. The directors they brought in.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that follows or pretend to follow each director and know their direction and their You know, a lot of these guys do that.
Yeah, they're obsessed with it now.
That pisses me off. Not enough they barely watch the other leagues. Now you're gonna tell me you watch the directors in other leagues? Like, come on. Like,
you watch one of your directors at Monaco, yeah? You knew you was at Monaco before you came to Chelsea?
Exactly. Man. But that's neither here nor there. So to me, I had no complaint about Win Stanley and the other guys, but now I can see those were bad hires. So the owners, I'm on the owners for that. there's no going around it. You guys hired them.
Yeah.
Then it breaks down to, okay, these directors of football took 3 months. 3 months to find a manager. 3 months. They did all these interviews, all this 3 months, and they came back with Pochettino. So I can only say you didn't do good. I gotta go by the results. I can't go by how I feel or what I think is just the results, nothing else. Pochettino has been bad. He's horrible in the media. He's horrible in the media. He doesn't know when to just shut up. He doesn't know when to just shut up. Like, he lies. Like, he throws the players under the bus. He has no accountability. He started gaining accountability like match week 32, 33. Like, bro, it's too late. It's too late. Like, you're a grown man in a leadership position. Have some balls, step up, take it on the chest. That you this is what they pay you, the $10 million a year, whatever they pay you. Because when it goes well, you're gonna get all the credit. So guess what? When it's going bad, you step up and take the bullets. Take the bullets. He kept, I need height. I need older players. My wife didn't cook my favorite meal. My dog's not potty trained. Like, he came with every excuse you could think of. Except I have to do better. He never was saying, I have to do better. I have to do better. He'll tell you what the players got to do better. He threw Matt Wake under the bus before. All of this I've seen him do, and he never took ownership.
No.
Yeah, no. And that's why I don't like him. That's another reason why I feel like he has to go.
That's when you know a manager is like on the ropes as well, when they start diverting everything. Like, you see with Ten Hag, I haven't watched the Gary Neville interview yet, but apparently every time Gary Neville asked him an actual question, Ten Hag was like, injuries. And from what I've seen from the quotes, that's what he's been complaining about for the past few months anyway. And he's on the ropes as well. So he's not really taking accountability either. With David Moyes, David Moyes is very boring because he's in the media. Like, he's very experienced, very boring. But when he loses, he's rattled. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see you rattled all the time. I want to see you rattled all the time. Because if you showed that character, and I'm assuming you don't show much character in the fucking dressing room, but if you showed that much character in the dressing room, we might be able to get out for a few games. Like, people might not be playing on the beach. Like, I was actually working when we faced Liverpool, but someone summed it up to me. It was like, it was two teams that were meant to play for something that weren't playing for anything. Like, that's kind of what it looked like.
Description of the game,
yeah.
Two teams out there have a lot to play for and looking like they have nothing to play for, like they at the beach.
Yeah, exactly. Blank says here, got the manager that his best achievement is that he lost the Champions League final. I mean, when you look back at that, like, it depends where you want to be as a club. With Pochettino, I don't see where he goes from here. When he leaves Chelsea, I don't see where he goes. Probably somewhere in like France or some shit. Like, no one in England is taking him. No one in England is taking him back. And the only people that I can see stupid enough to hire him are Man United. That's the only team.
Maybe Man United, maybe.
Yeah, and they're linked with Southgate. So you gotta be stupid. Do you know what? I would love to see that, though. That would be funny. I would love to see that.
That would be classic. From the day he's hired to the day he's fired, that would be classic.
Maguire would get an 8-year contract. Luke Shaw would get an 8-year contract. Marcus Rashford will get 2 MBEs somehow. Like, the first guy ever to get 2 MBEs, he'll get that. Like,
if they brought
Sancho would get released.
That'd be classic TV, man. That fan base would have a heart attack.
And they fucking deserve that. But going into the game, what like, do you even care about this part of the season anymore? Do you still think you can get Europe? Are you still up for the?
When it gets down to this part of the season and we're playing this back, now it just becomes like player FC. You just want to see certain players getting better, getting their stats up, getting their numbers up, looking good. And like guys that you kind of know is going to be here, you hope they looking good going to the summer on a higher level. Because I hope this manager don't come back. If we get, top 7, let's say if we get 6th place and they bring him back, maybe, just maybe, I might give him a chance. I might give him the first month of the season or the first few weeks of the season. Yeah. But I'm Poch out. I mean, I've been Poch out. At any point they can get rid of him, and I won't mind him. At any point, put it like that. Like he's here and he's here, and I don't have much to say. But any day they decide to get rid of him, I'm okay with it. And I'm not one of those guys you're gonna ask me, well, who do you want? Man, leave me the
I hate that question.
I want another manager. That's what I want. Another manager. That's what I want. Yeah, that's my answer to that. Well, who do you want? Another manager. That's it.
This is my problem with we were literally just talking about earlier about stats and how people act like they're performance analysts. Yeah. When they ask me a question about who do you want as manager, well, who do you want? Am I a director of football? Was I hired to be a director of football? Bro, I'm just a guy that's just on the outskirts of East London that supported my club for years. I'm not hired or paid to do shit. If it was up to me, this guy would have been gone after the final, would have given you thank you, goodbye. And I would have got an actual manager.
Yeah,
exactly. A draw on the next level.
Sometimes you got to see it. You got to see that, you know what, this guy's took us as far as he could. This is his level. Yeah. And that's the thing with Moyes. Like, they act like Moyes ain't been coaching the last 20 years. Like, if this was, if going higher than this was his level, he would have did it already. This was his level. He reached, he won a cup, a European, hire a bigger man, hire a man. Now is the time. While the iron is hot. It's hot.
Exactly.
You just sold rice. You got a couple dollars in your pocket. You signed Kudus. Get a manager now. Get a manager. They held on to him too long, man.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like we were linked with Amorim, and for whatever reason it didn't work out the first time, but apparently he's still on the short list or whatever. So it's good that he's not completely discarded yet. The only chance I see it happening is I see this big manager merry-go-round happening, and I was seeing Ranić to Bayern, and I thought, okay, if Ranić goes Bayern, De Zerbi goes there, then Amorim maybe comes to us. I'm just trying to piece it all in my head, so like maybe hopefully he'll come to us, because I didn't think it was realistic. I wanted Amorim, but I was like, he won't come to West Ham because we're Liverpool at the time. But what we need is the same thing that Aston Villa did. Gerrard was shit manager, dog shit manager, but Emery was right there. Who would have thought Emery would come to Villa? Who would have thought Aston Villa would pay the compensation? Aston Villa always surprised you with something ambitious, something hidden. And all of a sudden, I'm on the train home and I just see, Emery's gone to Aston Villa. What the fuck? They've just done that in like 2 days. That's what a progressive club does. They might lose the Conference League quarterfinal, whatever, but they're going to win a trophy with him eventually. Because Emery
he's a winner. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner. He's a winner. He's going to win a Carabao Cup, a FA Cup, something. He's going to sneak and win something. Because that's what he does.
Yeah, exactly. And with the squad we have now, I've not seen a good squad at West Ham like this in a while. But and this is saying a lot because I still think we need a big rebuild. I think this squad is the best I've seen in a while, and I still think a lot of these players, get out, please, because like Zuma's cooked, bro. Zuma's cooked. I've liked Zuma at this club, but bro, he's running in quicksand. You know when the ball goes across goal, he's behind the ball, and he's just standing there. Mannequin challenge, 2016, and it's 2024, bro.
And you want to know what's so funny about Zuma? When Zuma was here, he was known for his pace. That's what he was known
for that injuries, isn't it?
Yep, his pace. He was one of the most paciest center backs. He played with enthusiasm. He now you can just see the fire is not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they need to draw a cat on the ball or something. I don't know.
Oh man, that was typical West Ham. Typical West Ham. You signed a player 6 months in. Oh, by the way, he kicked a cat.
He kicked the cat. Like some of the crap these people film. Like Jesus.
His brother just filming that as well. Like, oh, that's fantastic, man. Well done, man. And he got fucking kicked out of Dagenham and Redbridge, which is a club that's quite associated with West Ham, ironically. That is fucking mad. And that's the thing with this club. I'm seeing pensioners at my club, man, and they're trying to give them extensions. I've seen Aaron Cresswell at this club for too long. When Aaron Cresswell signed for this club, how old was I? I was probably like 10 or some shit. What was it? Like 2014. I was 2014. Shit, I was 11. I have to see this guy for nearly 10 years, man, talking about testimonial. This guy is our Luke Shaw, by the way.
Yeah.
3 good seasons. And he's sick, by the way. No, This guy is the slowest English guy ever, and English people aren't fast. I'm faster than Cresswell, and I'm
Yeah,
unfit, bro.
I don't understand how it happens with English football, man. They give these guys
Mm.
they put them on these pedestals, and it's like, yo, these guys are not good footballers. They're
Nah,
okay, you
nah,
know.
not at all, man.
Yeah,
That's the thing. The only person over 30 that's pretty much a pensioner that can still do a job at this club is Antonio, because this guy's dragged us out the mud for fucking 4 or 5 years. Now, I called him the Sunday League Lukaku, but that's a good thing. Like, listen, people in Sunday League succeed sometimes. Like, people in Sunday League succeed sometimes. It's not an insult. This guy's my favorite
yeah.
player because he's dragged us out the mud.
That's a
But that's
perfect
the
game.
Yeah, literally. And even with this game, yeah, this should be a game where I'm like, okay, this should be a 6-pointer. This is a London derby. West Ham get up for Chelsea usually. Chelsea away, Chelsea at home. But I'm looking at the record. I'm looking at the end of the season. I'm thinking, why do I bother? Why do I bother? Because it's the 2 wins in 20 years at your ground. And it's the back end of the season. I've seen Palace put 5 past us. I've seen Fulham put 5 past us. I've seen Arsenal put 6. I've seen Villa put 4. Liverpool 5 in the cup. And people are still telling me to back him.
And here's the
He's
thing.
gone, bro.
Here's the thing. There's this one thing we've been able to do, especially this second half of the season, is score goals.
Yeah.
Chelsea's going to score goals. We're going to score goals. So I expect this game this weekend to be sort of open. I expect some running up and down. I expect to see a little bit of basketball, but because that's just what it comes down to a lot, you know? I don't know. If he stick to inverting Cucurella like he's been doing, then I'll say, yeah, I don't do score predictions. I don't have faith in us beating anybody. I don't. I really don't. It hasn't been a game in a minute that I've gotten up, woken up that morning, went to work, been at work going, yeah, we're going to win today. It's been a long time. And even Sunday, I will not wake up and think, yeah, we're going to win today. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to come up, do my watch along, and I'm going to be here just silent and quiet and just watch what happens. My watch alongs have literally become watch alongs. Like, I've been having my people even complaining, like, yo, like I used to come on 1 hour before this show. I don't even do that no more. Like, I just come on when the kickoff start, and you know, I used to have like anything between 1,000 to 3,000 views per episode. Now it'd be down to like 500, because I don't hang around when the game's done. I don't do post game. I just turn it off. Like, it's bad, man. When my own team got me like this, it's like I'm just waiting for the season to be finished. Right now, it's not really much to accomplish. We can get into a European spot. I will never poo-poo that, because we have a lot of young players. Our squad's pretty big. We need those extra games. If we get Europe next year of any sort, it'll be perfect. That means the Santoses of the world, the Angelo, all these guys we got on loan, they'll be right here at Chelsea getting better and playing those odd games and knowing that, okay, these guys are here. Because like when you got the Mudriks, like these guys are not footballers. These guys are not footballers. Our fan base is so weird. Like, we have a fan base that will sit and hype up Mudrik, who's not a footballer, and then bash Madueke, who actually has talent. You know,
talent
I like
that
Madueke. You can actually see it. You're not hoping it. You can see it. Everything with Mudrik is hope. You hope he don't lose the ball. That's number one. His first touch is horrible. His IQ is horrible. I don't need to break down everything else. He got a bad first touch and he got a bad IQ. That's my main two things with Mudrik. And now he's played 5, 6, 7 games in a row, because that's what they said. This is what he doesn't get games in a row. He got them in a row, and he's put up all stinkers. Last game, he had a good first half, couple good passes, and now that's good enough for them. But Madueke can have the same game, and they'll bash him. Oh, get him out my club. He's a road man. He's just all the typical stereotypical bullshit. It's like, yo, bro, what are we doing here?
Oh,
yeah, it's like, what do we do? By every metric, you can look and see he's a better player. I'm sorry, he's just Madueke is just a better player than Mudrik. He is.
Yeah.
He's just a better player. And to me, they're both squad players. If you want to be with the level you're trying to be, those are the guys that should be coming off your bench. Madueke should be backing up Cole Palmer on the right. That's how I see
Yeah.
it. He's a different type of player. So when Cole Palmer has to come off or have to switch to the middle and you bring on Madueke, you bring it on a different problem than what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mudryk is a person where he's like Adama Traore. You bring him on
Oh,
late,
facts.
guys are tired, and you tell him run, and you knock the ball over top. And you give him a lot of space because his first touch, he's going to need a lot of space because he's going to touch the ball and he's going to have to run it down for 5 miles. So, that's what it comes down to. But this game Sunday, like you said, it's a 6-pointer, man. Like if we actually get the 3 points off of y'all, we don't have to worry about y'all for the rest of the season. I think there's no looking. We don't have to look over our shoulders and back and worry about West Ham catching us back again. I think that'll pretty much be it for West Ham, and then we can go about hoping that Newcastle and Liverpool, not Liverpool, and Man U drop point. They have to play each other. If I'm not mistaken, they play each other. So
they do.
The opportunity to catch them is there. Like I said, I think if we win 3 out of our last 4, I think we pretty much going to catch one of those guys.
Yeah.
They have to play each other, and I think one of them are going to drop points outside of that. So if we win 3 out of our last 4, we probably catch them. Yep.
Yeah. As much as the manager hasn't got the best out of the squad, I think we could all agree on that. Anyone with eyes can agree with that. Is there is there a few positions that you want your club to address in the summer?
You already know striker.
Yeah.
Striker. We need a backup left back or starter. Either way, you go however you want to go. Somebody to challenge Cucurella because Chilwell's not it. I don't want to bring in any more center backs. None. Leave the center backs we have. They're talented enough. Just bring in a manager who knows how to coach defense.
Yeah.
Midfield, fine. Attackers, just a striker. I don't even an experienced winger. I would say that.
Yeah.
Sterling's there. He's not it.
He's not good.
He's not it. If we figured out a way to get Sterling out of here, I'll be cool with that. He's been that bad. His first season, he was meh. And then this year, he's been one of our worst players. Between him and Chilwell, I feel like they've been our worst players by far. So, if we can replace Chilwell, replace Sterling with veteran players who are not as pricey, I'll be fine. And a striker. That's it. Replace Sterling, replace Chilwell, and go from there. I don't really think this team needs much more. You get your next manager, and then you let that manager implement what he's going to do, and then you let that manager tell you what he wants after his first 6 months. And then we go from there. You know what I mean? We go from there. Get rid of Broha and those type of guys. Those guys not it. Those guys not it. Yeah, those guys are not it. That's straight profit. If they decide for money reason if they can get $50 million for Conor Gallagher, hey, I like Gallagher. I'm not gonna say I love him. He's okay. I like Gallagher, but for $50 million, straight cash, straight to the books, it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm sorry. Because I honestly believe you can snatch a player for probably about 30 million, 25 million that can do the pressing part. I'm sorry. They can do it. Yeah, they can do it. Gallagher's not that good going forward that I will sit here and be like, oh, you lose Gallagher, you're losing a good player. And I understand the attachment of him being an academy player. I'm not going to ignore that. Me trying to ignore that with me being ignorant. That would be ignorant to think him being an academy player don't mean anything. Because then it's like, what's the use of the academy, But you cannot let the whole academy thing make you make bad decisions.
No.
And $50 million for Conor Gallagher.
Anyone would take that, man.
Even if he gets better, I don't see him getting better attacking wise. He's not going to become a better dribbler. He's not going to become a better passer. His IQ is not going to jump 20 levels. The thing I can see him getting better at defensively, being a better, maybe physically getting better. I don't see he's not a bright player. He's not a smart player. He makes a lot of stupid tackles, but he's relentless nonetheless. So you take the good with the bad. He's one of those type of players. You take the good with the bad. Like I said, if Conor Gallagher was my fourth midfielder, I'm great. That means I got a hell of a squad, and you in trouble. If you coming up against if I got 3 midfielders starting and Conor Gallagher's my 4th, you're in trouble. Because when I bring him on, I mean I'm bringing him on to lock check. I'm bringing him on to run your team, like to press you out, and we're gonna lock this game down. That's how I look at Gallagher. You know.
That's got Daniel Levy 50 million written all over it to Tottenham Hotspur right there. Or he's got Daniel Levy all over it because he's homegrown. Daniel Levy will spend that, man. And that's the thing. That's the thing with that. It's ironic that you played Tottenham and there was a banner about Conor Gallagher staying and that he's going Tottenham, man. He's going Tottenham, man. They're not gonna like it, but you're gonna see that him and a child is a Chelsea shirt to that senior guy in the Tottenham shirt, man.
Listen, that Højbjerg and all those guys they got in the midfield, none of them is better than him. None of them. None of those. Bittencourt, he's better than those guys. Well, Bittencourt's always hurt, so it don't matter with Bittencourt. But most of those guys in the midfield, he's gonna play. Like he's better than Yves Bissouma's been.
No, he's been shit this year.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was hyping him. Like he's one of the players that made me get egg on my face. He's one of the few players that I hyped that made me go, yeah, that was a bad idea.
He's moving like Calvin Phillips, man. Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips, another one, terrible. They just fell completely off me.
But I couldn't be more right about Calvin Phillips. I literally predicted this 6 months before he joined, where we would go for him in the summer, and everyone. What used to piss me off? I watched every YouTube channel when Declan Rice was being linked, whatever, and everyone came up with this idea. Oh, I know what West Ham should do. They should ask for Calvin Phillips as a swap deal, and everyone said it like they came up with that idea, and I'm like, please shut the fuck up. I wish I was there. Just shut the fuck up, please.
Stop. Don't talk it into existence.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When I watched Calvin Phillips, I knew exactly what he was like. He played on the Bielsa system, where think about everyone that played in that Leeds team. Where the fuck are they now? Where are they now? Bamford's in the Championship.
Only one you can find that's even a part of anything progressive is Rafinha.
And he's been come under criticism at Barcelona as well. Think about all these guys that Bielsa made better, Harrison's at Everton. Bamford's still at Leeds. Ayling is at Middlesbrough. Cooper is still at Leeds. Tyler Roberts is at Birmingham about to get relegated. Like, look at all these players that play for Leeds, man.
Only player that was even decent, Tyler Adams was playing decent. That was like, no, he wasn't even there.
He was like,
I'm sorry, he wasn't under Bielsa. Yeah, I'm tripping.
Jesse Marsh.
Yeah,
Jesse Marsh.
Yeah, he's under March. Yeah, he's under March.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's the thing. It's quite simple. Bielsa got the best out of them, but people will be like, but he was England's Player of the Year. Yeah, do people realize what Leeds fans are like online and doing an online vote? Leeds fans were taking over that vote. They made sure that their player got Best Player of the Year because they ain't seen a Leeds player in the England squad in how long?
And how long?
In my lifetime, that's the first England player that played for Leeds. Mm-hmm. In my lifetime. Because when I was younger, maybe there was Woodgate there or whatever, but I was like 3. I don't remember Woodgate.
That's the old Leeds team. Yeah, that old Leeds team. Yeah.
This is like, I'm literally seeing similarities with these two managers coming up. But this is the problem, I've not seen a manager defended like this ever. Like with David Moyes, I've not seen a manager defended like this at any club ever. As soon as we lose a game, you got that fucking posh prick Simon Jordan always like, but I like David Moyes and all this. But David Moyes done a great job. Bro, I know exactly what you're doing. Yeah, you're friends with our owner. And you're on TalkSport chatting shit. You and Jim White been chatting shit about West Ham fans for years. You don't like anything to do with West Ham fans. Your claim to fame is nearly killing the existence of Crystal Palace. That is your claim to fame. He nearly killed the existence of Crystal Palace. That's your claim to fame. You want to talk about football. And Liverpool fans are now onto him about his comments about Salah, and it was really, really undertones of racism, bruv. And you're talking to me about...
They do that so much. They do it so much. The undertones...
It's Simon Jordan doesn't even hide it as well. Simon Jordan doesn't even hide it. He's like, fuck it. I'm going to say this.
Here's the worst part, Mike. Here's the worst part. When you got... Like, I'm quite sure you've probably seen it on my channel. When you call it out, they get mad at you for calling it out. It's like, I didn't say it. I'm just pointing it out. You know,
we're just quoting it, bro.
It's crazy.
That's the problem with TalkSport as well, though. They are a radio show for Devil's Advocate.
That's all they do. They just there to rattle people, man. That's like New York. It's like New York radio here. My NFL team is the Giants. I listen to nothing on the radio because all those guys come on there to do is rattle up the locals and get them to call in. Yeah, they go on. They say. The main guy they have on the radio station now for where I live at for my local team, for my favorite team, not my local team, my favorite team. He's not even a fan of the team.
Oh my god!
So you already know. He just gets on, he rattles the fan base and say call in. That's what most of these guys come down to. That's what Talk Sports do.
Oh yeah, especially with they have a call-in show with Jason Cundy, Jamie O'Hara, and every time the Europa League game, I'll be traveling about Europa League and be in my dad's car. He usually listens to TalkSport. It's always them two, yeah. And there'll be a fan. I'll argue it, like they'll get all kinds of fans calling, all kinds of different points. And whatever that fan says, they're gonna argue the other point, and then they'll put on their YouTube channel Jason Cundy versus angry fan, bro. The only thing I'm angry about is that this guy's on the radio, yeah. If you watch Premier League years, yeah, this guy's in the first Premier League years. He's not in any other Premier League years because guess what? He was a failed footballer. That's what happens when you're a failed footballer. And guess who he played for? He played for Tottenham, and he now shouts about Tottenham every week. You're meant to be like some ex-Chelsea man, and your claim to fame on Premier League years, the only time we saw you was at Tottenham, bro. And Jamie O'Hara, you're known for Big Brother. You're known for going on this other show with trying to link American girls now. That's all you're known for. Like
and they're football and they're quote unquote football pundits. They up there talking about football. Yeah, these guys
literally the worst of the worst. And this is what Simon Jordan would do. I'm already seeing, if I look up Simon Jordan, David Moyes on YouTube, Simon Jordan praises David Moyes' achievements at West Ham despite loss. Simon Jordan predicts West Ham's David Moyes' departure from West Ham United. Well done, fucking genius. His contract's running out. Simon Jordan doesn't understand West Ham fans who want David Moyes out. Yeah, you don't watch us, thanks. The narrative is strange. Yeah. Well, his agenda is that he's friends with our owner, bro. Like, he's friends with our owner. And he literally is meant to be this football owner genius. And now he's praising like Sullivan and that. Bro, Sullivan has been a shit owner ever since he was here. He saved us, but he hasn't done anything since. Simon Jordan heaps praise for David Moyes for his recent successes. I don't know, and that was 6 months ago. We didn't win the trophy 6 months ago. That was nearly a year ago. So I don't know what the recent success was. Maybe it was the time when we beat Arsenal away or whatever. Beating Arsenal away is apparently winning the fucking treble. I don't get it, but that's the thing. If you search that up all the time, obviously they have a weekly show. But every time West Ham win or every time West Ham lose, it's Simon Jordan has to praise David Moyes. Apparently, we have to praise a man after he's lost 6-0. Do you know I've never seen that with any other manager? I'm not even chatting shit. Not even Wenger got this praise when he was at Arsenal, man. Not even.
He actually did things.
Yeah. Wenger had the most divided narrative ever, but. David Moyes has had. I can't believe the amount of praise he's had. You wouldn't think this guy's manager of Man City or something. He's Pep. He's a Scottish Pep or something. Like, he's not even the best Scottish manager ever, man. You're not even the best Scottish manager. Like, I can't believe the amount of praise he gets. I remember straight after we lost 6-0 to Arsenal, Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker be like, defending David Moyes was the title of the podcast. We lost 6-0. What do you mean defending David Moyes? If you're a pundit, yeah, you're actually meant to look at things objectively. The only time I see that is on the ESPN YouTube channel, or it might be the occasional Sky, or it might be the occasional Sky narrative. But they push whatever they want, whatever it is, what it is. TNT, they don't offer anything in this country. There's no point paying for that shit. Like, the TNT Sports pundits, yeah, that is like West Ham 10-11 season under Avram Grant. If I was to compare pundits to players, that's like Piquion, Danny Gabidon, Jonathan Spector. Those are the equivalent of pundits we're seeing out there, man. Yeah, bro. And I'm not being harsh on Gabidon as well. He was here for a couple of years. I remember Alan Shearer. Do you know, if you literally look it up, it's like, but you're eighth. You're eighth now, and you're in the quarterfinals of Europa League. Well, now we're out of the Europa League, and we're about to be 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. There was a point, yeah, when we lost to Arsenal and Forest. We were slipping down the table one by one, and the excuse every week would be, "But you're this position. I'll be one position lower every week, bro." This is the problem. You only complain about this manager when we're in a relegation battle because you're used to us being in a relegation battle. But really, the standard was meant to raise when we moved to a new stadium because the whole point was to go to the next level. That's what we were promised, and that's what we will keep by. Thank you for giving us those standards, David Moyes, but you can't bring us there anymore, and you've gone even more defensive and more players.
And it doesn't make sense to lower the standards back down. You keep going up. You know,
exactly.
You keep going up. That's how medium clubs become big clubs and big clubs become gigantic clubs. You keep the standards going up. You know,
And it's going to be even harder to even get Europe if we was to keep David Moyes, because if we was to keep David Moyes, if you got to go by the form table, pre-season doesn't necessarily change the form table and even do new signings. Once you're under the same reign and you're already faltering, you're going to start off the same way as you did. That's why we
same
faltered
freaking
in
way, man.
2022.
Yep.
Like,
Or even if you start off good, it's gonna eventually revert back to what you know. That's what my thing about Poch. I don't want to start off next year with Poch because it might start off good and be and then we'll win 5 in a row, and then he'll just say, you know what I want to do? I just want to change the tactics for no reason. I just want to change.
yeah,
That's the type
yeah,
of shit he does. You
a
know,
literal miracle, bruv. A literal miracle. Who would you like as another manager? I know you hate that question, but who would you like? Like, is there anyone that you would like
to be honest,
with the squad that you have?
just specifically, no. I'll be lying if I told you there was a manager I had in mind. Like, if we get him, we'll be. No, there's a lot of decent managers. I seen the other day. I think I saw that Hansi Flick was saying he would manage Chelsea. I'll bring in Flick. I'll bring you up. Bring in Flick.
Flick is mad.
I've seen him win. I've seen him have good football. Bring him in. Bring him in. You know, bring him in. I watch Nottingham Forest bring in from Wolves and save their season. I see managers change all the time. Bring them in. Why not? He can't be no worse than Poch. You know, can't be no worse than freaking Poch, man.
If you keep him, the players wouldn't want to stay because they don't see a future with him. Yeah, especially with, like, for example, like a David Moyes, like he didn't bring in Mohamed Kudus. He didn't bring him in. It was actually Mark Noble that went to scout Alvarez, and then he came back with Alvarez and Kudus. And this was before our technical director came in. Our technical director brought in Mavropanos because of the Bundesliga. Ward-Prowse was David Moyes signing. Who else did we sign? Alvarez, Kudus, Mavropanos. I don't know. We had a fourth signing. It must have been shit because I can't remember.
You can't even remember who it is. Yeah.
I can't even remember who we signed. Honestly, my mind has generally gone blank. I don't remember who our fourth signed. No, I don't remember who it was. I think it. Who the fuck was it? No, my mind's gone blank. We signed 4 players. I can only remember 3 of them. You gotta be shit. You gotta be shit. It was Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Kudus. No, I've named everyone. Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Kudus, Mavropanos. That was the 4 signings, and the problem was we signed them all in August. So none of them got a pre-season.
No, they came in late.
Yeah. We actually had Kudus on the bench at one point. This is the problem. Like, we're talking about the midfield earlier.
I remember. Listen, we were supposed to be in for. Remember, we were in for Kudus too. So I remember.
Yeah.
And then they finally got him in and got him out there. You see what happened. Yeah. One of the best players, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the main shining lights of this season, especially has been him. Been just watching him. It's because he's not just fast; he's fast and technical. He wants to entertain, but he wants to win. His concentration is 100. I remember watching his interview when we just about squeezed past Burnley away, when we nearly lost to Burnley away, which that's typical boys. But he said after his interview, no matter what minute of the game, I'm 100% concentrated. I want to get the ball in. I want to make something happen throughout the whole game. I'm like, that's exactly what I want to hear. That's exactly what I want to hear. Because I don't want to hear a player be like, oh, yeah, we tried. We had a good game. We played to our game. We just want to continue on to the next game and all this bollocks. Bro, this guy's an entertainer. You can tell it in his personality as well.
Yes,
these entertainers
have
maverick personalities. Like, think about all the entertainers we've seen in football. They have maverick personalities, and you can see that.
In one season, he came and he got everybody doing his celebration. One season. Everybody, people across the world are doing his celebration. You know, and before he came, we didn't know that celebration or nothing. He came in, he scored, he finds his seat. He said, now you look, you see all the young under 21s, under 17, they're all doing it, man. He's a star in the making. He's definitely a big name player, man. He is.
Oh yeah. You've even got that Argentinian lesbian that plays for Man United doing the celebration. Like, he's so influential. Like, he did it against us. He thought he was slick as well, and now he tries to claim it, bro.
Yeah,
listen.
It
you're inspired by Uncle Kudus, man. It's calm though. It's calm. Like, that's the funny thing. Like, notice it with midfield. Yeah, we already had a Thomas Souček. Boys love Souček. It's like the Gallagher. So for Chelsea, Souček is for us. He can run around, but he's slow. So mainly he'll put a tackle in, he'll score a goal to cover up his performances. That's stats for you. So people will look at stats and be like, oh, I thought Souček's having a good season. No, he's still at 30 years old, at 40 years old, whatever age he is. I don't think he's 30 personally, but allegedly, innit? And he can't pass 5 yards. He can't pass 5 yards. He can somehow ping a ball, but he can't pass 5 yards. I don't get players like that. With him, he's been forced into the team with Alvarez and Ward-Prowse, which has forced our most creative player, Lucas Paquetá, to play on the left for half of the season, which doesn't make any sense. He's not getting the best out of his players, and that's the problem. The problem with our manager. If your most creative player is playing off the left, you've got a problem. You have got a problem right there. There's no pace on there. There's no like when he doesn't even look like a winger. You play a number 10 in the number 10. It's quite simple as that. And any forward-thinking manager would have played Maxwell. Jesus Christ. I forget Maxwell Cornet plays for my club. Maxwell Cornet plays for my club, man. He should have had a goal at the Chelsea West Ham game last year. But he hasn't been brought on since then. He got an injury, then didn't get brought back.
And then he hasn't been back since.
No. We brought on, when we were losing to Fulham, we brought on an academy player, a very talented academy player called George Urphy. He came on and got a head injury straight away, unfortunately for him. He had to be stretchered off. And then Maxwell Cornet came on. For him, a sub. He came on for a sub. That's how low down the pecking order he is.
Wow.
We've needed pace in this side for so long. Technical ability and pace.
Let me show you what's funny, right? And I gotta get out of here in the next few minutes. My daughter been home from school for a while. So
no problem.
Let me show you what's funny, right? Ian Madsen was right here in Chelsea. And I was begging for this guy to play. Some of the fan base buying into this Poch crap about him being too short. And not, I'm like, what? Look what happened now. The same Ian Madsen is playing in Champions League semifinal. Playing great. That's the problem with Chelsea. We have a manager telling us who and who can't play in this league. I don't want Pochettino telling me what young player can and can't play in this league because he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's not the guy to tell me. It's like Ten Hag. Ten Hag said Sancho wasn't good. Everybody, Sancho's crap. Sancho's leaves Man United. What happened? The other day, I watched Sancho. I said, this is the Sancho. What? And people, don't tell me that he can't do this in the Prem. He can't do it for Man United. Yeah, some players just cannot work for certain managers, certain teams, certain places. Don't fit them. Does not make them not a good player. No. Yeah, exactly. It annoys me with Man United as well because they're talent killers. We should have learned. Did people not learn from Pogba? Did people not learn from Paul Pogba? Di Maria, look how much guys go there and you just look at him and then they leave and you remember, oh yeah, he's a good footballer. I forgot.
Yeah.
You know?
With Sancho as well, I knew it wasn't going to work because it was under Solskjaer and they were like, oh, we need a right winger. Let's just sign the hottest right winger that's English and we'll just fit him in. And they didn't have a plan for him because they had Mason Greenwood at the time. They had Marcus Rashford at the time. They had Bruno Fernandes playing behind the striker at the time. And they weren't going to fit him in. They didn't give him any really sort of chance. People were like, oh, but he didn't perform well for Man United. Do you know what? I cannot remember that many runs of games he ever had. Ever had. I don't remember any sort of chemistry he got with players or anything like that. I don't remember.
And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I watch every Man U game. I'm quite sure there's a Man U fan that could jump on and say we're wrong. He did this, he did. All I'm saying is it's amazing that the minute he got out of Man U, the minute he got out of there, he looked back to his norm. And you're gonna have people that say, well, Bundesliga. Well, explain the Champions League because the Champions League ain't Bundesliga. Semi-final against Paris Saint-Germain, don't get too much bigger than that. And he was probably man of the match. You know what I mean? So
it's better than Mbappe on the day. Better than Dembele, better than all these other players on the pitch. And also, one of the best teams in the world right now, even though they're in Europa League, is in the Bundesliga. So we can't do all of that. And don't get me wrong, the Bundesliga isn't the greatest league in the world. And there's been a lot of times where players in the Bundesliga have shined and failed in the Premier League. But it's not necessarily all because they're shit players. It's because of circumstance. Circumstance is literally perfect.
And it goes both ways. Like, people never ever like to point out. I always tell people, if the Prem is so great and all this, why don't people leave England? English players leave England and go tear up other leagues.
No, they don't.
Where's the English player tearing up other leagues? Where's the mediocre English player that the other leagues spend big money on? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. If those other leagues were as bad like we say, then they would be picking mid-tier English players and spending money. It never happens. Never happens. Never happens.
Like for example, Hudson Odoi, he went on loan to Leverkusen. It didn't work out for him. He went on loan to Leverkusen. It didn't work out.
He had no GNA in the Bundesliga. How do you go to the Bundesliga and leave? And then under a manager like Xavi Alonso.
Yeah, I was going to say under Alonso as well.
We all see what Alonso has turned out to be. That's who Hudson Odoi played under and could not succeed. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Like when people want to cast these aspersions on certain players, it's like, come on, man. Let's be fair, you know.
All right, I am going to end it right there because obviously
I gotta. My daughter's been home from school for almost an hour. I know she's waiting for me to come downstairs.
All right, but no, generally, thank you for coming on to the channel, Jimmy.
Definitely, man. Anytime.
Yeah, it's really hard to start to get people on the channel. It's really hard to get people on the channel, but I appreciate it.
I was running. I was the original time we had set. I looked like I was gonna make it, and then it wasn't even me. Of course, you know, work. Somebody else. I'm waiting on somebody, and I was like, you know what? Let me link Mike and let him know I'm still forward. I'm gonna be a little late, but I told you I'll be here, man. I was gonna make sure I'll get here.
Yeah, it's no worries, but make sure to like the video, people, and the road to 500 subscribers is on. We hit 260.
Yeah, we gotta hit that like button. Everybody who's watching this preview, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We need Mike getting him up to 500 to get him up to that 1,000, man. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. And obviously, link in the description for Jimmy's YouTube channel is in the description as well. And it's also in the title.
Jimmy Swift TV. Chelsea watch-alongs.
Yeah. And thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you on Sunday. Goodbye.